Right, you lot's Wildlife Moto here, out and about in the beautiful Essex countryside today to bring you a first ride review and impression on the Knox Handroid pods. So let's do that. So motorbike gloves, I don't need to give you the full rundown on why you wear them because we all know that, but unfortunately you do have to kind of buy them on a fairly regular basis because they don't last particularly long. Mine tends to get a bit worn out quite fast. So I was in the store, put these on, and I've got to say I just fell in love with them. They are so flipping comfortable. It's untrue. Really, they feel like I've been wearing them forever. Like you don't have to break them in. They're quite expensive. They cost about £179. But you know, upon further investigation, you start looking at all the features and the stuff that comes with these gloves, and I think they are absolutely fantastic. I've never actually ridden with them before, so we'll take the bike out, we'll go for a bit of a ride, and I'll let you know how they feel. But in terms of the reasons why I got them, it really just comes down to that balance of comfort, fit, and safety features really. And there's some really cool features on these gloves that I want to tell you about. The first one, as you can see here, is this kind of boa system. So we don't have any Velcro, you just wind them up, and that gives you a really good tight fit on the wrist. And because I like to wear my gloves underneath my cuff, that gives you a really nice kind of tuck under the old cuff. If you want to wear them over the top, I think you probably could with these, but there's also the non-pod versions. They just call them the Handroids, which might be slightly better. It's kind of more gauntlet style if you like to go over the top. But for me, these being kind of two-season, spring, autumn kind of gloves, I'm quite happy with them like this. Now, as I said, there is a ton of safety features on these bad boys to protect all of these delicate bones, your carpals, your metacarpals, scaphoid, all that kind of stuff. So we'll go for a ride, we'll have a chat about some of that, and critically, we'll see what they're actually like on the bike. But just look at these. It looks like something out of a kind of alien movie or something like that. So cool. Let's go. So then, when it comes to motorcycle gear, of course we're always trying to strike that balance between practicality, style, comfort, price, all of that kind of stuff. But really for me, my priorities have always been getting that balance between safety and practicality. I want stuff that's practical enough that I'm actually going to wear it, and safe enough that it's going to do its job should the worst ever happen. So when I tried these gloves on, straight away they kind of tick the practicality box. They are quite short, so I can get them up under my cuff like I like to wear my gloves. They are super comfortable, and I'm pleased to report that so far on the bike they are every bit as comfortable as they were when I tried them in the shop. Really nice and tactile relationship with the controls. I can wind on the throttle easy, nothing in the way. Really nice feel through the levers. Yeah, very comfortable. I'd say size wise they fit pretty much in line with all my other gloves, so it's not like you need to size them up or anything like that. It's like you do with Alpine Stars, for example. Definitely a true to size fit for me anyway. Over and above all that practical stuff and the comfort, they are packed with technology and innovation that makes them very safe as well. So let's talk about that. So first thing, they are completely laden with armour. They have this kind of exoskeleton style armour set up on top, which looks really good. I wasn't sure what I thought about them when I first saw them, but they do look like they're straight out of a sci-fi film. There's something very kind of Bane about them, or Wolverine almost. And this is all about protection though. So in and around the glove, all over the glove, front and back, loads of little features that are there to add to your safety. And I don't know if you've heard about Knox, or if you know about Knox. They're a British company. I think they're based up in Cumbria. They make beautiful items I'm wearing their jeans actually at the moment. They also make really great YouTube videos as well, so go check them out. But they were one of the pioneers and innovators around this kind of micro lock technology. In fact, micro lock is their patented version of that kind of non-Newtonian substance. But it has that unique property of being very soft and malleable and pliable in its everyday application, but when you need it to be strong, when you impact it, all the little particles, they lock together and it soaks up a lot of that impact. So you've got micro lock all over these gloves. On the top, underneath this little plastic metacarpal shield, you've got micro lock under there. And then on the back, you've also got micro lock in these scaphoid sliders. Now, the scaphoid is one of the bones in the carpal systems. You've got about, I think it's like 8 bones at the base of the hand. Very complex little cluster of small bones. And unfortunately for bikers, you know, when we have an accident, you put a lot of pressure through those bones, and it's normally the scaphoid that gets it the worst and tends to break quite a lot. The idea of a slider system here is just that really. It's to slide your hands out when you hit the deck, or if you hit the deck, should I say. Fingers crossed. But it's all about that slide action so that your hands don't grip against the surface of the road, and that helps to dissipate a lot of that energy rather than sending a big shockwave up through your bones. So you've got that in there as well. You've also got kangaroo being used on the palm. Now, kangaroo leather is used a lot in very high-end race suits and things like that. So I think the key difference between a kangaroo and a cow is a kangaroo doesn't have sweat glands, so the skin is way less porous than cowhide, and I think as a result it's something like 10 times the tensile strength or something like that. It's also a lot lighter and it's a bit more supple as well, so it is a better leather for abrasion as a result. It's a little bit more expensive a thing to use and to get hold of, but it does do a very good job apparently of protecting you against abrasion, which is exactly where you want it on the palm here. I think the rest of the glove is your standard moo stuff. And then you have these little spines that brace the top of the fingers, and again these are all about just adding a little bit of extra protection, a little bit of impact protection, a little bit of abrasion protection as well. Not that you need too much on top, but it's, I guess, mainly about impact here. So if you do crush your hand up against something, these little spines here will take some of that load away from your fingers, which is always a good thing. Now, I paid about £179 for these down at my local motorbike shop, so they're not the cheapest things in the world, but you are making an investment in something that looks great, feels great, and should offer you a decent amount of protection in the worst case scenario, and that's what you want. You know, you've got gloves out there for, you know, £300-400, and when you compare them against those, I actually think they're pretty good value. So there you go, that's my quick first ride and initial impressions of the Knox Handroid pods. They do a full gauntlet version that comes up over the wrist if you want something that offers a little more protection, or indeed might be a little bit warmer in the winter months, but for summer, spring, autumn riding, I think these are absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for watching the Wildlife Moto channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I want to let you know that we've got a new channel, the Wildlife Moto Extra channel, which is more informal content, moto vlogs and all that kind of stuff. First couple of videos are now live. So if you want to dash over there for a little bit more, then you're very welcome. Until the next one, ride safe.